Hello, and welcome to Happy Catastrophe. I'm Candace, or Sister Minbao, as I am a Buddhist nun. And I don't always say that in every video, but I thought maybe for this particular book, I should hang on to my nunness. I saw this previewed, shown on, was it Grumble? No, was it Pirate? I should have looked that up first. One of you has this, and I never hit buy so fast because I do love the Mythogorias, and this is a new artist to me. I don't think I have anything else of this person's. So from what I saw in the flip through, I thought it was great, and so I hit buy. And now I'm here to show you, just in case this is too much of a nightmare fuel for you, because let me tell you, this is some spooky stuff. Okay, first off, we have this cover. Isn't that neat? Just the reflective red on it is very cool. Now, Nightmare Cabaret is correct. This is very cabaret, Moulin Rouge gone wrong, sort of like the darkest circus you've ever been to. Maybe a circus that Rob Zombie might have put together. That's what this is. So let's get into it. This is brand new. I don't always jump on brand new books, but I did on this one. I got this off of Amazon. I think the publishing date is like yesterday or something, 2023. All right, let's start right in. And I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit, and then try to block off that. There's going to be some sun. It's a very sunny day, and I'm having to do this in the early morning because I need my air conditioning on. I have a little plug-in air conditioner here in the cabin, and it's loud. So let's start off with this. Wow. Again, this is nightmare fuel. So if you have a hard time with the spooky, this is not a book for you. And you probably don't want to watch this flip through. All right. The baby chicks that are in my house right now are being very noisy in their enclosure. So you might hear some really loud birds chirping. I don't know where to begin with this, but there's a picture. There's a lot of sewing faces and limbs and things onto creatures that don't belong to it. There's a lot of that. I actually really like this one. I love this face. That is incredible. And I can't wait. This might be my first one. Isn't that neat? Creepy. Sweet but creepy. Again, I apologize for the shadows. This is another one I love. Oh my God. She scares me every time I look at this picture. Oh, I would want to think about this. I would want to think about this and get the colors just right. But I love the dynamic of this neck piece, the movement of it. I just realized that her hairpins were like bird skulls. Oh my God. Oh, she's got a bird skull around her hair wrap, but this one, so scary. All right. Okay, here's where we start getting gruesome, even gruesomer. There's a severed head, eyeballs rolling up. Severed head clown is still performing, it looks like. There's random arms everywhere. Yikes. Oh, this one, I love it, but it might be one of the even more gruesome ones just because the snake has her head. And I think what gets me on this one is her expression. Look at that. Whoa. Yeah, not exactly sure if she's happy or not about her predicament. I want to do this one at Christmas time and make that like the worst Santa ever. Santa death. Yeah, yeah. And the horse has teeth that will shred you. They will cut you, those teeth will. I think I like bringing these up close too. I should do this more on my flip throughs because you can really see then. She's spooky. Okay, she's a marionette type thing, puppet. But the lady in the back there, she didn't work out so well. She looks like she was human the way she's strapped up and missing her arms. And this one looks like it might be a doll. And there's another one back there. Yeah. And then a hand manipulating them all. Huh. I love it. This one I had to look at for a long time. It's like a bird with a rhinoceros head, but there is no body right here. I mean, this is its body. And then there's a bird with a snake body. And then just a random skeleton in the back, you know, because you do. And then, so this must be like the lion tamer, their version of the lion tamer, this messed up circus's version of the lion tamer. You know, there are a lot of artists that I would love to go out to coffee and sit down and talk with them and see like, what was your inspiration and tell me about your life, but not this guy. I don't want to meet this one in a dark alley or a coffee shop or anywhere. This clown that's actually a skeleton, I really like. It's like he's the magician of the cabaret with these cards. And I'd like to think that this card was what he looked like before he turned into a skeleton. I like it. Okay. If you build it, they will come. I don't know. There's a lot of this in there, this type of thing. Obviously, Fausto is a very disturbed human being. I was really careful about there being animal cruelty in this. This was the only one that I thought was close to it. And I didn't want to support animal cruelty, but I think this is so fantastical that, and I don't know if that animal, I don't know. I can't tell if they're being cruel to this elephant or not. Although I don't think I'd be riding on the back of an elephant, like right behind the poop chute like that. Yikes. He's got a bug in his mouth. Yeah, that's a party gone wrong. This one I really like. It's so odd. It's like, how weird can I get? Let's put a rib cage for a headpiece with some wings. And I love that her detachable mouth is kissing. And that I just like this one. She's like made of all kinds of parts. And I think she may be bald. I think that's underneath all that. But this whole headpiece, ribcage headpiece, is so strange. Another very fantastical one. The clowns. The clowns in this one. Wow, those chicks are just having a ball in there. I don't know if you can hear them. I don't really have a... Having chicks in my cabin was not a planned thing, let me tell you. Yeah, okay, her face. Is she enjoying this? I don't know. He's not happy at all. But this is another one that I think for sure, and look at that. Oh, creepy skeleton. This is another one that I think I would really like to do. It could be really cool with colors. All of this could really call out for either bright colors or maybe sort of kind of like the way my most recent finished completed page was a mermaid page that was, I placed the mermaids in a circus and I made the background kind of a dingy backdrop. So some of these being old and dingy and dark would be cool too. But there's a lot of opportunity to color metal, a lot of steampunk stuff, a lot of opportunity to color bone and sinew as well, in case you were craving that. She has a vulture for a hat. Yeah. This symbol shows up everywhere, and I don't know what it is, if it's just windows, but you'll see that symbol throughout the thing. I love this. She is cool. She's like the flying trapeze artist, but not scariest flying trapeze artist you've ever seen. Does this appeal to you? Does this freak you out? It's very different. I like books that are different. Will this give me scary dreams if I color it? Maybe. You know, I spend days and days on a picture and I really get into it. I couldn't help myself. I have to laugh because I might cry. Scary beasts. And then there's this guy who, there's nothing wrong with him, but he's just scary as a clown. And the fact that he's balancing with partial human remains on his unicycle. This one, yeah, okay, you don't want to meet her. She has their hearts. I was just talking on a group buddy chat about how I'm tired of bleeding hearts in every single scary book, because that, you know, just having a heart that's bleeding doesn't make it scary, and I still stand by that. I don't know how to color hearts, but there are a lot of bleeding hearts in this one. But that is, it's sort of like the afterthought of the picture. Like, it isn't about the bleeding heart so much as it's about every other horrific thing that's going on in this pictures. I used to think I didn't like coloring bone either, but I'm kind of having a fun time coloring it. It's not that hard, and you don't need that many colors to color bone. It kind of makes, at least for me, especially in this book where I use alcohol markers because it's single-sided. Thank you so much, Mythogoria. I don't, they're actually pretty fast coloring. I use Copics, so I tend to use my warm browns, just the really light one like W1, and just color in the crevices and depressions and kind of leave the rest of it. I might add a little bit darker brown for some more accents on the deepest crevices of the bone, but other than that, and then I just leave it the page color, the rest of it, so it's pretty easy. And I love making hands like this, like dirty. I usually make them with a greenish cast, but I like to make the tips of their fingers kind of black. I have a good time with that. Yikes. She cut that hand off, but she doesn't see this one coming. Ooh. Creepy, creepy. These are half people, and I think holding hearts, but I'm not sure, but everything is on wheels. and then the master manipulator up there. It's like, there's a couple pictures where they've got partial bodies navigating on wheels. What do you call them? And I think that's an interesting, fascinating concept. Okay, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's kind of like a wolf man with a hawk head and too many great big birds. Wait, he's part bird. He'd be like the strong man of the circus, right? I do like this one. She's beheading people on this guillotine and then somehow floating them in balloons. Oh, there's a big skull. I really like her. She's the balloon seller of the cabaret. It's really fun that Fausto Bianchi took like real cabaret circus performers and just made them all wrong. This one, the perspective thrills me. I love this perspective. He's reaching out to you, just almost breaking, you know, that fourth wall that they talk about in theater, just coming straight towards you. I think that is really, really neat. And I definitely want to do this one, even though he has snakes in his head. I had to cut you off there because a siren went by. I live out in the middle of nowhere, so when a siren goes by, it's usually an accident. I can't decide if he's killed this guy or he's mourning this guy and she killed this guy, because yikes. But again, it's really cool. I love the idea of coloring a lizard guy. Okay, this one is so creepy because it's so close up. He's right there, and these are tiny, tiny little pendulum guillotine things. And she's manipulating this machine, and it is way too close for him. It's a cool one. And just the fun things you can do with face makeup. Because many of these are scary clown-like. Okay, here's some hearts. I gotta learn how to color hearts. And she isn't, look at that face. Woo! Okay, stop it, Candace. And she's only got this much of a body. The rest, she's skeleton. Yikes. This one is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Okay, rats. But look, it's coming at him. It's starting to poke into him. I think the rats or the mice are actually manipulating it, and it's going to, he's already got the back side of the skull on. This is going to skewer into the front of his face, and then he'll be like a skull head. Oh God. Again, fascinating. I actually think I would enjoy coloring this, and I don't want to meet Fausto anywhere. In a dark alley, in a lit alley, at a restaurant, nowhere. Fausto, what did you do? What was your childhood like for you to grow up and make these pictures? I'm glad you became an artist and not, you know, a serial killer. This one really bothers me because I can't tell if these are babies or dolls because of this, and that looks like blood. So are these dead babies or is she stabbing dolls? But there's all that blood. So, and what's up with that one back there? But their faces look like dolls. I don't know. Cool, cool, cool. I think this one, if people have this book, I think we're going to see this one. She is part woman, part a whole heck of a lot of bats. She's flying through the city at midnight. She'd be like the high flyer of the highest trapeze. I like her. Okay. Okay. This one would be fun too. I mean, look at the curtains and everything, all the fabric, but oh Lord, that's not good. They like screwed bunny ears onto his head. And those knives are, you know, really in there. There's no illusion here. This is the real thing. Okay. So the bats are carrying, no. The skeletons are flying, carrying him. And they're probably going to drop him soon. I think that we've seen this guy before. He's kind of like the ringleader, right? The ringmaster. We saw a picture of him. Maybe that's a self-portrait. It'd be interesting to see what Fausto looks like. Yep, more skulls. That's the worst headgear ever. And look at the people hanging in the background by their heads. You know what? Oh, it's going through his fingers too. For some reason, that's even more gruesome to me. I think there's a medieval torture that was this, right? Where they put people's heads in cages and hung them. I just listened to too many horror stories. This guy's creepy, has a big long tongue. I don't know what those are. But he's riding this really cool bat. And there's a giant bug that's been killed. He's one of the freaks in this circus full of freaks. Okay. I like this one too. I like all the marionette puppety looking ones, but I don't. They've slain a dragon though. See, there's the bits of the dragon back there. I think that's it. Yeah, I think they, or someone in a dragon suit. And of course, it doesn't seem to matter that there's, you know, none of these bodies are totally complete. Oh, I just noticed that the middle of her is gears. Gears, that's what I was meaning to say earlier. They're gears, not wheels. These are the gear people. I think that's kind of cool, actually. I like this one. They're flying through the air, but they're flying by hooks through their flesh and her hair. And I think that's either skin that's been peeled off of her or sewed onto her. I can't believe I'm describing this picture like this and saying, I like this one. I'd color this. What's wrong with me? This one is cool. She's got a really cool headgear and mask on. And she's got her raptor friends. And she's feeding them a heart. I really love her outfit, though. This is very interesting. And all the protective gear she has on is just metal and wood and bone and fabric. It's neat. That might be one I do. Again, I need to figure out how to color hearts more realistically. Blood in general is hard. Thank you, Jack, for laying down. He's obsessed with the chickens. Oh, it's going through his hand. Yikes. And there's, see, the screws and the thing. There's just a lot of things going into flesh. This goes beyond creepy clowns. This is like creepy clowns on steroids. Yeah. They're fighting the creature. We're getting close to the end, in case it's getting to be too much for you. She's wearing skulls. Her face, whoa. Look at her teeth. She's the one that seems to be the creeped out one. He seems to be pretty calm about having these animal parts sewn onto him. And rats in a cage sewn onto his head. But he seems pretty calm about it. Oh wait, his whole head's been sewn on. He may not be with us anymore. Why am I laughing? Okay. Oh, she's bent backwards over this skull. And there's little creepies in here. Snakes are holding her down, and they're coming up with their hands holding her down. And then there's the two in the back that are just like... Again, the perspective on this is really cool. But a mind that can come up with this stuff kind of scares me a bit. Look at that. Okay, held together by some kind of sinew. Ugh. Oh, God. There she is again. That. Oh. I don't even know what to say about that one. And that's it. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Woo. So now go hug your loved ones and have a dessert, because that was creepy. If you have this page and have done if you have this book and have colored a page, I'd love to see it, because I'd love to see what some of these look like. I'm kind of at a loss for some of them on how to start, and I'd love to see some examples. So if you've done it, let me know. I know it's brand new. I'm not sure how many of you have it, but it is on Amazon, and it is beautiful in its own way. And if you like creepy, gory, this is a good one, I think. This is one of my better gory, creepy coloring books. Thanks for joining me on this nightmare ride, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.